Hey everybody, welcome to another day in our recovery week, our first recovery week. We are going to go ahead and start off with some stretches, some overhead stretches, just get the body kind of warmed up. Arm swings, we are just hitting up another body weight day. So you need your mat. I am enjoying being barefoot again, so you can do that with me if you'd like. And then inhale, bring those arms up. Nice deep inhale, just let your arms swing down, up again, down, up. One more. Grab your arms at the top, pull to one side. Inhale to middle, pull to the other side. Each time you pull to the side, try to see if you can get a little more range. So we're going to build a little bit of heat today, kind of like we did a few days ago, our second day. But we will keep it a little more mellow. As I said, just body weight as well. All right, go ahead and hinge down over those legs. Just let your upper body fall wherever it's ready to. If you're still a little tight getting to your mat, especially if it's early in the morning, I'm going to be a little tighter. I kind of like to pedal my legs just like we do in a downward facing dog. Let one leg straighten and the other knee bend. And then widen your feet out a bit. And we're going to drop into a low squat. You can shift those hips around, gear up, and set into it however works for you. Kind of plant your fingertips and then push your booty up. And then drop. Push your booty up. And drop. If you're not able to touch the ground with straight legs, that's fine. You can come to whatever point works for you. Go 3, 2, wake up that core. Make sure your belly's always strong. And 1. All right, and we're going to do a few drinking birds. So that's a single leg deadlift without the weight. Take a nice deep inhale. Find a spot that's not moving on the ground, and then we'll hinge forward on one leg. Think about trying to create the longest spine possible, the flattest back, most engaged core. Really flex through the leg on your supporting side. Last one. All right, switch to your other side. It's okay if your balance is a little bit off today or this morning. We'll kind of get into gear. Not uncommon for it to be a little wobbly at first. Last one. All right, go ahead and come down onto your hands and knees. Plant your fingertips right underneath the shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips. And then we're just going to warm up those wrists. So bring your shoulders super far forward and then back. Shoulders way up over those fingertips. Depending on how tight and tender your wrists are, you might not get super far forward. That's okay. Just whatever feels good for you. We will be on our hands a few times today, so we'll get them ready. Okay, this time when you come up, stay still, and I want you to start kind of leaning left and right. Left and right. And then start gently, slowly turning your fingers away from one another. So you're externally rotating them till you get them as far as possible, maybe all the way back to point at your knees. All right, and then once you're there, you can kind of sit back again. Get that stretch through the forearms. All right, and then sit all the way back, roll out those wrists. And then we're going to go ahead and hit up a plank set. If you don't plank, that's not a problem. You can hang out in a bird dog, or you can just stick with cat-cow. So I've kind of been having fun on my own recently, really focusing on cat-cow, kind of letting myself sag, and then pulling belly deep, exhaling all the way, and really getting as much tuck and contraction in the core as possible. I found that when I use that kind of complete expulsion and expiring of my breath. I can really contract and tuck through my belly with the diaphragm shut down. So you can practice that if a plank doesn't work for you. And then when we hit our side plank, I'm going to have you hinge shoulder to hip. So pull that shoulder to hip and you'll feel the oblique build up some heat. So really just start building that mind-muscle connection in all the different parts of your core. Otherwise, join me on the ground in 3, 2, and go. We'll just hold 30-second rotations twice through. It'll only be 3 minutes, but it'll be a nice little warm-up, a good little start to the day. I think hitting up some planks each and every day is always a fantastic idea. Reminds the core that it needs to stay going strong. Help us keep our posture. 3 seconds. All right, turn to one elbow. Lift up through those hips. If you'd like, you can lift your top leg. You do not have to. And maybe you don't lift it for the whole time. I don't know if I'll lift it for the whole time. Sometimes I find myself a little more agreeable to lift the leg if I tell myself, you know what, you can put it down whenever you want. 8 seconds. Keep driving up through those hips. Focus on your obliques. 3, 2, 1. Other side. We rotate through the middle. If you need to drop your hips while you go through, that's fine, or your knees. But try your best to start building into that rotation without dropping onto the ground and resting. Build the heat. Let that internal temperature come up. 3, 2, and back to center. Tuck in. Flex deep. Scan your body head to toe. Find all those little flexions. 3, 2, and 1. Turn to your side. Again, if you'd like, you can lift that leg. I like the heat that's building, getting that warm up. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Last time on the side here. And then we'll get going with our other set of work. Ten seconds left. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's take a little child's pose. Stretch through shoulders and back. Push up into your downward facing dog. Stretch through your calves and hamstrings. Slide the shoulder blades down. Check in with that core. Feel that flexion we just built. All right, and then we're going to flip it over into a bridge. All right, set up your heels so they're right underneath your knees. Belly is strong, and we're going to go through 30 bridges. So with your bridge, make sure that you're using your glutes to lift the butt and the hips. So sometimes I feel like we can just get into arching the low back, but we want to really train the booty and the hamstrings to take that thrust. Keep your knees lined up with the toes. There's 20. Keep it going. See how high you can get the hips. Take a little itty bitty pause at the top. 29, 30. All right, lower those hips. We're gonna come up and we're gonna do a pedal boat. Paddle boat. I don't know if you've ever ridden one of those in little ponds at the park. So we're gonna start with our boat. Depending on where you're at with your boat, feel free to hold one leg, extend the other, and then switch. That's totally fine. Otherwise, depending on where you're at, try to release your legs, find your boat position, and then you're going to tap opposite foot and hand. And we're going to go 10 each side. And with the movement here, you kind of will start rocking. Your hips are going to drive back and then rock forward. It's a little bit tougher to hold that balance. And that's the point. Our core should be grabbing in to support the balance. There's 5. Scoop through the belly. Build the core. We're here for core. 7. You got it. Hold it up. 9. 10. Okay, lowering back down to our bridge. And this time we're going to do a single leg extension. So drive the hips up. Lift one leg, and you're going to lift and lower through that leg. So I want you to flex the foot, flex the thigh that you're lifting. 2. We're going to go 10 on this side, 10 on the other. 4. Get that push in your supporting leg. I like to hold my hands up because it forces my core to work more, but if you want to keep them on the ground, that's fine. 9, 10. Okay, so make sure you get your setup. A lot of times we end up tripoding the feet. We want to keep that foot right out from your hip and shoulder, your glute. 4, 5. How much flexion can you get into that lifting and lowering leg? Keep your core in check. 10. Go back to your first leg. And then this time, we're going to lift and lower the hips. So keep the legs as parallel as possible. 3, 4. Try to keep your hips lifting and lowering together. 7, 8. How high can you lift without arching the low back? Switch to the other side. Drop and push. You've got it. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, lower down. Back into our focused core. We're going to go into a side plank. If you need, you can stay on your knee, supported like this. You'll drop your hips and lift, and then we're going to do a leg extension. We did that the other day. We're going to hit it up again today. However, if you can, I would like you to try to go into your full side plank, so your knees off the ground. Then we'll dip and push. 2, stack up those hips. 5, 6. Get that movement. Build a little bit more into your oblique. There's 10. And then we're going to do an up and down lateral leg extension. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. All right, we will take a knee drop, turn to the other side, get your side plank set up, and then here we go. Hit up your dips. 4, trying to keep my hips from rotating forward or back, trying to just get them to move straight up and down. 8, 9, 10. Here we go. Second side of these is always tough. That first leg is tired, but we've got it. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. All right, we're going to move into a superhuman, and we're going to do a held lift. So toes are actually going to stay on the ground. Tuck your tailbone and engage your core. And then from here, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pull your elbows up off the ground. If you'd like, you can lift your legs, but I want you to make sure that you're not going to put any pressure on the low back. So if a Superman has ever bothered your low back before, keep your toes on the ground. Otherwise, you can lift. Elbows squeeze up high. You're going to push forward and then pull back. Okay, so when you pull back, here's 2. Feel the chest lift just a little more. 4. Your butt needs to be flexed. Your neck is relaxed. Your neck's in neutral. Pull, pinch, squeeze. 8, 9, 10. Perfect. All right, go ahead and hit up a child's pose. We want to make sure to release that low back if we got into it. Kind of let your hips rock side to side. Okay, now we're going to do a super plank. If a plank doesn't work for you, I'm going to have you go to your bird dog. So you'll extend opposite arm and leg, tap opposite elbow and knee together, then place it down, hit the other side, tap, set it down. Otherwise, hit up your plank for me, your high plank, and we're going to rotate. So you're going to push onto the right hand, left foot, kick your right foot through, and touch your left hand. Rotate, kick. That's 1. We're going to go to 10, 20 total. So the tendency here is going to be to start losing that plank. So your hips will go up and your shoulders will move back. We want to try to keep shoulders right over the wrists. You've got it. If a knee bend is better, then that's fine. You're just getting what you can. Lots of core focus. 2 more each side. Tuck those hips. Push into the hands. And 10. Perfect. All right. We're going to hit up a body saw and then a dolphin push-up. And then we're going to be 1 round through. So we're going to do 20 body saw. You're going to plant forearms on the ground. Take up a plank position. For this one, if you don't plank, stay on your hands and knees. And I'm going to have you kind of do the same as we did at the beginning, starting with your wrist warm-up, but core. It's all core. So feel like you're moving forward and back, tucking that core. Find that little rotation, because what happens when you're rotating and roving in that body saw is that you're getting different portions of your abdominals. So that's what we're going for. All right, find it, tuck it in. Let's see. Kind of get a little bit of an extended plank. Make sure you tuck that tailbone under. Push as far forward as you can, and then back. So then you get the biggest return here if you don't rush. There's 2. 3. Those glutes need to stay super contracted. 6. 'Check in, dig deep, tuck that tailbone. 10, 11. Make the core, hold the work. 14. 18. 19. Tuck that tailbone. 20. Whew, nice job. Take a little break. And then we're going to hit up a dolphin push-up. So if this doesn't work for you, you can do a down dog plank. do down dog plank. We'll hit up here, down dog, come forward plank, pushing back and forth. Otherwise, your dolphin push-up, we're going to try to hold a dolphin, so that's on your elbows. Your butt's in the air, and then first couple, you have to kind of find your positioning, but you push up. So the nice thing about this is your butt can stay up, so it's not as much pressure. It's not as difficult as a full plank position. 3, you're using your back, your core, and you should feel your triceps. Nice work. Keep the belly strong. It's okay if you don't drop all the way. 8. Keep it out of your neck. 9. 10. Whew. All right. Work those out, shoulders. Let's go back down for our glute bridges. All right. That set took us a while. We'll see if we can burn through the second one a little quicker. 30 glute bridges. Connect with your body. Notice what you're feeling where. Try to not worry about or think about anything else going on. Just focus on those little thrusts, building that booty, strengthening the hamstrings. 10 to go. You got it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to come up for our boat. Find that balance. Get your boat. And then here we go. We're going to get our paddle boat. 4. Round your upper back so that you can set into the core. That's what we're using here. And kind of shifting around is good. Pulling up, leaning back a little, but not consistently. Just kind of throwing your body off balance. Last one is good because then it forces your core to activate even deeper. All right, our single leg glute bridges. Drive those hips up. Lift your one leg. Go up and down. 1. Keep the height. Supporting leg. Flex the foot to get into the thigh. And flex muscles on that lifting and lowering leg. 7, 8, 9, 10. It's easy to get lost in the moving part, so our lifting and lowering leg, but I actually want you to stay focused on the pushing thigh, that glute and hamstring on the ground. That's where the work's at. Keep driving up. Keep the belly strong. 9. Careful not to overarch that low back. Okay, switch. Lift, hips. Go up and down. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get that set. Here we go. 1, 2. How much flexion can you get? 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. All right. We're going to go into our side planks. So remember, if you need, you can go into a supported side plank. Find your stack, and then drop and lift those hips. 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. All right, dig deep. Get that leg going. Focus on that tightening through the core. All that extra core work we've been doing consistently last 4 weeks is really helpful for all this stuff. Okay, other side. Here we go. 1, 2. Make sure you're trying to get the most range. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we go. Trying not to rush it. Eight, 9, 10. Whew. Barely, but we did it. All right, we're in our superhuman. Lower down. Find that solid position in the core. Lock in through the belly. If you'd like, lift your legs only if you don't put too much pressure on the low back. Inhale forward, exhale. Elbows come back. 2, 3. We want to feel the back here, upper back. Chin stays tucked. Flex those glutes, protect the low back. 10. All right, hit your quick child's pose. We're getting through it a little quicker this time. All right, we're gonna hit up that super plank, rotating side to side. Set up that high plank, belly firm, rotate, and kick. Really focus on using control through the core. You find what pushes your control, your contraction, the deepest. 7. Big wide fingertips. Press through that thumb and first finger. 9. And 10. All right, we have our body saw and then our dolphin push-up. Okay, elbows down. Find your positioning. So my hips are a little bit up, and then I want to tuck under through the tailbone. That's how you get your solid plank. Push forward and back. 2, 3. Really focus on the belly, doing that push, grab, and then drive. Grab. Halfway. Hopefully your hips aren't coming up and down. Focus on that belly lock. 16, 18, 19, 20. Whew. All right. Now we're going to hit up our dolphin push-up. I'm going to go the other way. Don't slip on my sweat as much. Okay, so find your dolphin, and then we'll start our push-ups. Or you can do your down dog plank. Now my feet are just ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lots of core. 5. Lots of tricep. Lots of back. 8. 9. Whew. 10. All right. Drop it down. Sit it back. Whew. Curling my toes under just to give my feet a little bit of a stretch. See if you can grab your hands behind the back and then drop your forehead back to the ground. Push your hips up off your feet and let your arms fall over your head. I'm kind of twisting my shoulders side to side. Whatever feels good here. All right, bring your hands back down. Rock back. And then push yourself up over your legs. So you're going to come all the way to a forward fold. Plant your hands on the ground and just hang out here for a second. Bring your body forward a little bit over your toes, the balls of your feet, and then shift back to your heels. And then over to the toes. Go ahead and see if you can lift onto your tippy toes. Engage the calves and then slowly drop your hips. You can use your hands or you can keep them up off the ground. Up to you. Drop your hips all the way down. Keep your heels up. And then lower all the way onto your booty. And let's take our butterfly stretch. Interlace your hands around your toes. Pull your chest up. And then slowly drop forward over your legs. If this feels good for you, remember if you feel super tight here, try putting a block or a pillow underneath your hips. Take some deep breaths. Very good. All right, and then we're going to get our hamstrings through a seated stretch. So pull your right leg in and then extend your left leg out away from you. Reach your left arm just down the shin or wherever it reaches, and then take your right arm up and over. So start off getting into that low back in your side. So don't worry about how low you get at this point. Try to keep your chest open, and the weight of the arm just kind of pulls you and helps to get that stretch through the side body. Now rotate over the left leg. A little more stretch through that hamstring. And then we'll go to the other side. Left leg comes in, right leg goes out. And then extend over that right side with the left arm. I don't know if you can feel any difference. I can. My arm is way not as low. Or if I try to force it, my knee's coming up off the ground. So just check in. Okay, then rotate over that hamstring. All right, back to center. We're going to do, I think it's called a cow face or half cow face. So extend your left leg long. You're going to take your right leg, cross it over your left knee, but your knee's not up in the air. It's kind of resting on the other thigh. Bring both arms up, and then you're just going to hinge forward over that leg. So that right knee crossed on top of your left leg is going to just help kind of keep the knee from bending. Changes any sort of kind of compensation in the hips. So I actually feel this stretch all the way from my plantar fasciitis, like the, I don't have plantar fasciitis, but the arch of my foot where your fascia is, that's what I'm looking for. And then through my calf, pretty big. Nothing major behind my knee, but I can definitely feel my hamstring as well. Whew, okay, come up and we'll do the other side. Extend your right leg long. See if you can get the left leg to cross over the top. Bring those arms up. Your toes are pulled back towards you. Just reach forward as far as you can. It's no big deal if you can't touch your toes. It's just about stretching where you're at. As crazy as it may sound, when I was 14 years old, I could not touch my toes. I was extremely stiff and inflexible. But thanks to my basketball coach, who was very interested in non-injured players. All right, unwind, come all the way up to a low squat. I got flexible and I'm so appreciative. Push those knees out wide. All right, you all are amazing. Good job. I'll see you again tomorrow. We're going to be back on a roller. So hopefully you have a foam roller to use.